Hello everyone, it's Wolfgang Grey with Grey's Horizons. I hope you're doing well. My channel is still relatively new, so if you like it, please hit like, subscribe, and by all means, please leave a comment. You're not being tracked because you did something wrong. You're being tracked because it's profitable, it's easy, and because the people who could stop it usually don't. Let that sink in. Let me start with what sounded like a small fix, but mattered a lot. Click to cancel, or more accurately, click to stay stuck. A federal appeals court blocked a new rule that would have made canceling a subscription as simple as signing up. 6 days before it was supposed to go live, gone. Not because the idea was bad, but because of how the agency wrote the rule. The effect is simple. The dark patterns stay. You still get bounced through endless menus, hidden buttons, and "are you sure?" loops until you give up. One economist described it perfectly. You have to block out time during work, sit on hold, or navigate a maze just to stop paying for something you don't want. That wasted time isn't an accident. It's someone else's revenue. Now take that same idea, make the exit hard, and move it from your inbox to the hardware aisle. Face scanned at checkout isn't a sci-fi headline, it's a lawsuit. A shopper in Illinois says a Home Depot self-checkout camera drew a green box around his face, and he alleges the store captured his face measurements without proper notice or consent. Under Illinois biometric law, companies must tell you what they're collecting, how long they'll keep it, and get your permission first. Those steps aren't optional. If the allegation is true and the company disputes it, that green box wasn't just a camera, it was enrollment. You came for screws, you left as data. From one store to one city, a city's secret face dragnet. In New Orleans, police quietly piggybacked on a private camera network. More than 200 cameras with facial recognition alerts pushed straight to officers' phones. That routed around the rules the city had publicly set. This wasn't just checking a still photo after a violent crime. This was real-time scanning across a live network. When records request surfaced, the practice, the department paused the alerts. But the bigger lesson is the workaround. If authorities can outsource surveillance to private infrastructure, the rules we're told to trust become theater. The scanning keeps running, the accountability doesn't. And that leads to street protest lines and geofence lines. Picture a rectangle drawn on a city map during a demonstration. That digital box, a geofence, lets investigators ask for the identifiers of every device that entered that space at that time. One federal appeals court called that kind of warrant unconstitutional. Like the general warrants, the country was founded to reject. Another appeals court allowed evidence from a geofence case. And one judge even suggested it might not count as search because you already share your location with a company. Well, same phone, same rectangle, different rights, depending on where you live. If you're noticing a pattern, good. These aren't separate stories. They're one system with the same two moves. Move one, make the trap cheap, and your time expensive. That's the subscription maze. The business model is break the cancel button, bill forever. Move to call surveillance convenience or safety, then push it through private pipes where public rules can't reach. That's the face box at checkout. That's the citywide camera network. That's the geofence. Here's what it means for you in plain terms. First, when a court tosses a rule on a technicality, the status quo wins by default. You still pay with your time because time is the product. If a fix arrives later, great, but the money you lost in the meantime doesn't come back. Second, consent on a sign or buried in a policy isn't the same as consent in real life. Real consent is specific, informed, and optional. If you can't see it, don't understand it, or can't reasonably refuse it without losing service, it's not consent, it's compliance. Third, public doesn't mean free-for-all. Your phone, your face, your movement through a store or a street. Those are not just abstractions. They are records. They travel. They get requested. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're never deleted. So what do you do with that? You don't need a law degree. You just need to see the incentives. When you hit a wall trying to cancel, that wall is profitable. When you're scanned without a clear yes, that scan is valuable. When police route surveillance through the private systems, that route is convenient because it's faster than asking permission. Start reclaiming the small things. Keep a short list of what you actually use and cancel what you don't. If a service makes you jump through hoops, that's a red flag about the company, not about you. Pay attention to signage and privacy notices in stores. If a place collects biometrics, you should know before you walk under the camera. And understand what your phone is sharing by default. Location history, Bluetooth beacons, Wi-Fi probes. None of that means never use tech. It means know what you're trading and make it your choice, not theirs. I'm not telling you to be paranoid. I'm telling you to be precise. The promise you were sold is opt-in. The reality you live in is opt-out, if you can find the exit. So I'll say the line that ties it all together. Consent is a myth when the system is designed to make no impossible. From your bank page to the checkout lane to the protest line, the story is the same. The paperwork says you agreed. The process makes sure you didn't have a real choice. And if freedom is ever handed down from above, it'll arrive only after we've forgotten how to use it. Until then, protect your time, protect your data, and don't confuse a green check mark with a green light. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.